Good morning, grade 12 students. In this session, we're going to start with our new chapter regarding the immunology, the immune system. In this session, we're going to start the general introduction for the immune system. As you know, we have different systems inside our body. We have digestive system, we have the respiratory system, the urinary system, the digestive system, the reproductive system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, and other systems as well. One of these systems inside our body is the immune system. So in this lecture, and in these lectures for the 2 or 3 weeks, we are going to start with our chapter about the immunology. In this chapter, we are going to identify the different immune cells, the different organs, the different types of cells and their properties. We are going to differentiate between the specific immune response and the non-specific immune response. What are the mechanisms of the non-specific immune response and that of the specific immune response? Also, we're going to talk about the different cells that are involved in each of the specific and the non-specific. We are going to differentiate between these cells according to specific properties. Also, we're going to talk about antibodies, their role inside the body, what do they do? We're going to talk about the serum, what does it contain, and what is the function of the serum. And also, we're going to talk about the different types of grafts and their different results and consequences. First, the immune system. The immune system is the system that protects us. It's like for example, the army in the country. It protects the country from the invaders, from invasion from other soldiers or armies as well. So the immune system is defined as the army that protects our body against the harm around us, about bacteria, viruses, parasites, and others. All of these, they are invaders. They invade our body. They cause diseases. Whenever they cause diseases, we can classify them as pathogens. So here, immune system is the army that protects our body against these bacteria, viruses, parasites, and others. So viruses, one of them is now living nowadays in this virus, which is the COVID-19 virus. So this is the virus that the immune system has the role to protect us against such a virus. So immune system is the army. So what about the immune system role? The role of the immune system is to protect the body or to defend the body and to save the body from invasions from bacteria, viruses, and others. So what about immunity? Immunity in Arabic is المناعة. For example, they said this person has a low immunity, has a weak immunity. This person has a strong immunity. So the immunity is the ability of the body to respond to any foreign attack. Foreign meaning that it's not related to my body. So this one is classified as foreign. So foreign attacks, that means that the attacks that are done by foreign individuals, by individuals that belong to my body. They don't belong to my body. Next, we're classifying them as non-self. So immune system is the army. Immunity is the ability of the body. So what about immunology? Immunology is the science that studies the immune system. So this one is classified as the immunology. So always whenever it ends with ology, it's the science. So immunology is the science that studies the immunity. It studies the immune system, the organs of the immune system, the cells of the immune system, and how do they work, the mechanism of the immune system. This is our job and this is our chapter. We're going to study the immune system regarding the cells, the organs, and the way of action. How do they do the mechanism? How do they work? How do they protect our body? And how do they activate the cells and the organs? First, is the army made up of single unit? We have to know this question. We have to know that the army is not made up of a single unit. We have in the army, we have terrestrial, we have the marine, and we have for example, the air forces. زي عندنا القوات الجوية, القوات البحرية, القوات البرية in Arabic. So here, this is the army. as well as the army inside our body, the immune system. The immune system is composed of different cells. It's composed of lymphocytes, monocytes, granulocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils. We have different cells, different organs, and different tissues. So here, cells, tissues, and organs, they form the immune system. So what is the function of this? So what determines who the army should attack? مين لازم يهجم immune system? We talked about this last time. We said that the immune system defends or attacks the citizens or the foreigners. Sure, the immune system is going to defend its own citizens. What's the meaning of own citizens? Citizens meaning that my organs, my heart, my kidney, my pancreas, my liver, my stomach, my mouth, my nose, my teeth, my muscle, my skin, all of them, they are my organs, so they are the citizens. However, the foreigners is anything that is outside from body, virus, bacteria, parasite, or even an organ, maybe transplant or a grafting. For example, me and Hassan, we need to have, for example, a kidney transplant. أنا أخذت من حسن kidney. Hassan doesn't belong to my family. We are not related to each other. So kidney of Hassan, the Hassan's kidney is with respect to me, it's a foreigner. It's a foreign organ or a foreign individual, let's say, if you can say this. So it's foreign. So it's regarded as a foreigner. It's outside my body. It doesn't belong to my body. So here, this is the role of the immune system. It defends the citizens, the organs, the cells of my body, and it attacks the foreigners. So self and non-self. What do you think the immune system will attack? The self, it's all that belongs to one's body. This is the simple definition here. And then you move to the definition to the complete definition. This is the partial definition. Self is all that belongs to one's body. Like what? Like my hand, my liver, my pancreas, my skin, my hair, my heart. All of them, they belong to my body. So these are classified as self. However, the cells that do not belong to my body, they are classified as non-self. For example, Muhammad's kidney, Selena's liver, Rama's, for example, heart. All of them, they don't belong to my body. They belong to others' body. So they are classified as non-self. So here, let's move now to talk about the immune system. Which would the immune system attack, the self or the non-self? In the normal conditions, the immune system will attack the what? The non-self for sure. So the immune system will attack the non-self. So how does the immune system distinguish the self from the non-self? كيف بيميز self from non-self? To answer this question, we have to know this HLA. What is the HLA? HLA, it's the human leukocyte antigen. So HLA, human leukocyte antigen. Where it's found? It's found on the surface of nucleated cells. What the meaning of nucleated cells? The cells that have a nucleus. So HLA, it's found on the surface of the cells of the nucleated cells, in specific, the cells that have a nucleus. Who can mention type of cells that lack a nucleus? One type of cells that lack a nucleus. Yes, Ali.
Red blood cells.
Red blood cells is one of the type of the cells. Very good, Ya Ali. Is one of the cells that lack a nucleus. Lacking a nucleus, meaning that it lacks HLA. And we are going to talk about the blood in the coming sessions. Thank you, Ali. Let's move now to the HLA definition. HLA is the biological identity marker. What the meaning of this? Biological identity marker, meaning that you have an ID. All of you have an ID. Lebanese ID, for example, Palestinian ID, Syrian ID. All of you have an ID. This ID هي هويتك. This one will determine that this person is you, and you are going to cross, for example, the borders. You're traveling for other country. You need your passport, for example. So this is the identity marker that helps to identify you. Or, for example, as a student of ISI, you have the T-shirt or the blazer or the jacket, for example, for the ISI. So this one, it has a badge here. So you have a logo here for ISI. This logo, it helps to identify you as a ISI student. So this is the HLA. HLA inside the cell, it's biological identity marker. It helps the immune system to distinguish the self from non-self. If they have the same HLA, so they belong to my body, to the self. While if they have different HLA, they don't belong to my body and they are non-self. For example, someone is going to ask me, for some people, they have a disease that their cells, they are killing themselves. Yes, this is a special case. This is related somehow to the autoimmune disease. So HLA, to continue the third note, the cells of the same body, my cells, my heart, my kidney, my liver, my pancreas, my small intestine, my stomach, my spleen, my lymphs, all the cells in my body, all of them, they have the same HLA. And also, those of identical twins, they have the same HLA. Identical twins, what's the meaning of this? Both of them, they should be the same, either two boys or two girls, and they are the same, exactly the same. We have other twins, they are called fraternal twins. بتلصبي وبنت بيكونوا twins. هيدول ما بنسميهم identical. They are called fraternal twins. They are not identical. So they don't have the same HLA. So the cells of the same body and those of identical twins, they have the same HLA. While the cells of different persons, they have different HLA. يعني أنا, for example, ونورا, we have different HLA. أنا وسمر, we have different HLA. أنا ودانا, we have different HLA. All of them, we have different HLA. So this is related to the HLA. So what determines the cell, whether it belongs to my body or not? It's the HLA, the human leukocyte antigen. So each person has a specific HLA on the surface of what? Of nucleated cells. Red blood cells, they don't have a nucleus, as Ali said. They are called anucleated cells. So anucleated meaning that they don't have a nucleus, they lack a nucleus. So meaning that they don't have HLA. How does this work? SubhanAllah, if red blood cells, they have a nucleus. So for example, if Muhammad, la samahallah, had a car accident. Muhammad had a car accident, he wants blood. So if Muhammad needs the blood, none of the people can donate to Muhammad unless they have the same HLA. But red blood cells, they don't have a nucleus. So Muhammad can get blood from any individual, even though they are not related to each other, even though they are from different countries. But they should have the same blood group or a group that permit the donation of the blood, this blood transfusion. So here, this is the process. Red blood cells, they don't have nucleus, so they don't have HLA. So they are not classified as non-self. على حدا بيجي بيسألني for example a question, for example, ليه مثلا is blood group A ما بيعطي blood group B? This is related to something called antigens and antibodies. This is not related to HLA. So here, identical twins, as he said, they have identical HLA on their nucleated cells. So here, let's develop Freyer's model. Freyer's model for the self and non-self using the HLA. قبل حكينا HLA قلنا شو هو ال HLA؟ قلنا for example self, sorry, قلنا the self is the one that belongs to one's body. The non-self is the one that does not belong to one's body, right? So now هنحكي about self and non-self using the HLA terms. هيدا الديفينيشن اللي انت لازم تعرفه regarding the HLA and regarding the self and non-self. Self, Freyer's model هنستعمله كتير. Freyer's model, here I'm going to write the definition. Here I'm going to write the term or the sentence or the one we're going to describe. Here, the definition. Above is the definition. Here it's an example. Here, not an example. So, self. What the meaning of the self is everything that belongs to one's body and it has the same HLA. So self, it belongs to one's body and it has the same HLA. Example, the self, my hand, my kidney, my muscle, my skin, my hair, all of them, they belong to one body. So they are example about the self. While non-example, my friend's hand, my friend's kidney, my friend's pancreas, my friend's liver, all of them, they are non-self. So this is a non-example. However, to move to the non-self, non-self is everything that does not belong to one's body and it has different HLA. For example, non-self, my friend hand, he non-example. He example about the non-self. بينما non-example, he my hand. So my hand, it's a self. So here, this is the Freyr's model. Definition, example, and non-example. Moving now to talk about the grafting. What is the graft? Anyone knows what is the meaning of a graft? Yes, Rama, what do you think? What is a graft? Yes, Rama, what is a graft? Great. Badia, what do you think? What is a graft?
It's like a surgery from one part of the body part to another.
Exactly. So somehow they called it a transplant, transplantation process. So transplant or a graft. What is a graft? Graft is a transplant. Thank you, Badia. So it's a transplant of a tissue or an organ. So they transplant a tissue or an organ from one side to another in the same body. For example, I, for example, burned my face. So I want to do a surgery بسموها transplanting or grafting. So أنا حرقت وجهي بدي أعمل transplant احترق skin هون skin cells احترقوا وبدي أعمل transplantation. Okay? So شو بيعملوا؟ They took skin cells from the thigh بياخدوها من الفخذ لأنه أكثر شيء في هون skin cells at the level of the thigh. So بياخدوا the level of the thigh بياخدوا skin cells هدول سكين سيلز بيعملون ترانسبلانتنج اكيد بياخدون هدول سكين سيلز مش بيلزقون هيك بياخدوا سيلز بيعملون culturing and then they transplant them here. اذا كان الحريق منه كثير درجته كثير قويه this process will succeed 100% وما حيبين شيء ابدا. So بتعمل total for example removal or elimination of the burn cells. اذا كان الحريق كثير قوي بتخفف الافكت بس اكيد ما بتلغيه totally. هيدي رساله على واتساب بيعملوا له عمليه تجميل بيظبطوها exactly 100% اذا قدروا ياخذوا له سكين سيلز وما كان كثير الحريق قوي. So transplant of a tissue or an organ from one side to another in the same body or from one body to another. From one body to another, it has possibility either to succeed or to fail. It depends on what? It depends on the degree of similarity of the HLA. If they have similar HLA, this process will succeed. If they have different HLA, this process will not succeed. Some of you is going to ask me, some people, they get a heart, they got a kidney, they got a lung from other people that are not related and this process succeed. Yes, it can, but they have to take some medicines that decrease the immune system or it increase the immune system. It depends on the cause. يسموهم immunosuppressors, immunosurfactant. هنحكي عنهم later on in the coming sessions. So, transplant of a tissue or organ from one side to another within the same body or from one body to another. Let's start with the Freyr's model. First type of graft بنسميه autograft. What the meaning of autograft? Auto أنا بسميهم إياها كنت خبرهم إياها auto automatic. It's the graft that is transplanted or transferred from one side to another while in the same body. بنفس السame body بنفس البادي بنسميه autograft. Autograft from my hand to my thigh. يعني من ايدي للفخذ. For example أنا عملت transfer من الإيد للفخذ. So this is called an autograph. Autograph, a graph within the same body. So this is the example about the autograph. Another example from my hand to my friend hand. هيدي لها اسم تاني. So autograph is the graph. Auto automatic. سيارة الأوتوماتيك بس أنت تحطها على الدي لحالها بتمشي، بينما المانيوال رح تضلك تحط لها أول ثاني ثالث تغير فيها. So automatic it occurs automatically يعني بتشتغل لوحدها. So it occurs within the same cell. ليه بتصير مضبوطة؟ لأنه the cells of the same body what do they have? The same HLA. That's why it succeeds. So here this autograph it's 100% successful. Moving to the second type, it's called isograph. Isograph is the graph that is done between two identical twins. So identical twins and only identical twins. So أنا بشبههم هي كيف تحفظها؟ Iso I, identical I. So the iso is for identical twins. From Samir's kidney transfer to his identical twin. While that example, as I said, Samir's kidney transfer to his sister twin. أخته التوم. بس هي منا identical. So they don't have the same HLA. So here isograph should be identical twin. And it's 100% successful. Allograph. Allograph is the graph that is transferred from one person to another in the same species. يعني أنا وحسن وطفة. You are two individuals belonging to the same species. اثنيناتنا human. So this is called an allograph. نحن اثنيناتنا individuals in the same species but we have different HLA. So بنسميها allograph. And then percentage of success is very low and it depends on the HLA for sure. That's why it's very low since we don't have the same HLA. While a non-example from a cat to a dog. Cat with dog, they are different species. هيدي species الcats, هيدي ducks. So they are different species. So هيدي ما بنسميها allograft, بنسميها شيء اسمه xenograft. Xenograft transferred from one animal to another from different species, from a cat to a dog, from a dog to a horse, from a horse to a monkey, from a monkey to a donkey, and so on. So different species like xenograft. Also, the percentage of success لها هي very low. So what affects the fate of the graph? شو اللي بيحدد لي مصير الجراف؟ Is it accepted or rejected? The fate of the graph, whether it's accepted or rejected, whether it's a success or a failure, it depends on the degree of similarity of HLA between the donor and the recipient. يعني قديش عندهم similar HLA بتكون هي successful. قد ايه عالية بتكون درجة success عالية. So they have 80% similarity, the 80% percentage on the success. They have 10% similarity, so 10% is success, بتكون very low. That's why in the case of identical twins and the case of autograph, percentage of success بتكون 100. ليش؟ Because in the auto, within the same body, so they have identical HLA, so it's 100%. Since they have 100% identical HLA, identical twins also the same. They have identical HLA, so that's why it's 100% successful. What the meaning of a donor? هنستعملها كتير من يوم ورايح. Donor من اسمها donor, donate, the one that donate. Recipient, the one that receives. So the donor is the one that donates, the recipient is the one that receives or takes. نيجينا نحكي now about the blood. So till now صرنا حاكيين عن كذا شغله about the immune system. عرفنا definition of the immune system, what is the immunity, what is immunology. عرفنا the meaning of self and non-self. عرفنا على HLA definition. عرفنا red blood cells they don't have a nucleus so they don't have HLA. عرفنا على different types of the graft, autograft, isograft, allograft, and xenograft. Now we're going to talk about the blood. Blood, as you know, is going to flow everywhere inside the human body. Sure, we can't live without blood. This is the important role. The heart has important function. It's pumping the blood to all the body cells. What does it do? It supplies them with oxygen and fluid. And it has a special protein, it's called hemoglobin. It's responsible for carrying oxygen and carbon dioxide. We're going to talk about this as well. So blood في بقلبه proteins and cell fragments. These fragments are called platelets. Platelets they help in the clotting of the blood. يعني أنا هلا جرحت إصبعي 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, even though 1 hour, the blood is going to stop. Why? We have something called platelets. These platelets have to clot the injury, to clot the blood where we have an injury, and it will stop the bleeding. So, blood cells. This is the last slide for today. We're going to talk about this and about the blood. What's about the blood? The blood is divided into two different forms. Either red blood cells, and they have another name, it's called erythrocytes. So from now on, whenever you hear the word erythrocytes, so here we are talking about red blood cells. Whenever we are talking about white blood cells, we are talking about the leukocytes. Red blood cells, they are small in size and they are many in number. Like this slide. This slide, this is a microscope one. This is under the microscope. It shows the red blood cells. هيدول كلهم اللي لونهم هيك for example pink color, they are the red blood cells. So red blood cells, they are about 5 to 6 million cells per milliliter. So they are small in size, large in number. So small in size, they are many in number. However, the white blood cells, they are large in size, they are few in number. انت رح تعمل blood test. كيف بيعرفوا المختبر باللاب that you have, for example, inflammation or you have some problems inside your body. They look to the white blood cells. White blood cells, they are higher than the normal, meaning that you have a specific problem. That's why white blood cells, they are found here. And we are going to talk about this point later. Red blood cells, they are red in color, while the white, they are not red. But doesn't mean they are white. ممكن يكون عندهم color غير white. ممكن يكونوا blue, for example. You can يكونوا purple. So they are not red in color. Red blood cells, they are anucleated cells. What the meaning of anucleated? Meaning that they don't have a nucleus. Wherever the white blood cells, they are nucleated, so they have a nucleus. What is the role of the red blood cells? The role of the red blood cells is to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide to the different organs and different parts of the body. However, the role of the white blood cells is to defend the body. These are called the immune cells. So white blood cells, they have the role to defend the body. They are the soldiers of the army. White blood cells هن السولجرز. عندنا الاميون سيستم اتفقنا هو الارمي. Okay? So soldiers they are called the white blood cells. They defend the body. طب هلا بيجي حدا بيقول لي انه طب كيف بتعرف اذا عندنا التهابات؟ لما كان عندي number of white blood cells they are higher than the normal, meaning that we have a specific problem here, and the army send the soldiers, which are the white blood cells, in order to work and to kill this non-self and to kill these invasions. So من هون بيعرف باللاب اذا عندك التهابات او ما عندك inflammation or not, according to the number of white blood cells. So here these are the figures. This is the red blood cells and they are red in color. These ones, they are red blood cells. They are about 5 to 6 million cells per milliliter. They are large in size, large in number. They are few small in size. So high number of red blood cells, 5 to 6 million cells in every 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter يعني نقطة واحدة 1 milliliter. Okay? However, the white blood cells, they are those ones. So these are the white blood cells. They are not red in color. ممكن يكونوا purple, ممكن يكونوا blue. These are the white blood cells. They are about 5,000 cells per milliliter. يعني هون قدر على times 10 to the power 3. يعني أكثر منهم ب1000 مرة the red blood cells. So here, these are the red blood cells and the white blood cells, and these are the red blood cells, and this one of the types of the white blood cells. They are not red, and they have different colors, they have different shapes, and their nucleus exists in different forms. So this is everything for our session for today. So here we explain the different properties regarding the white blood cells and the red blood cells as